Welcome to Minding Your Business, the show for entrepreneurs. I'm your host, June Middleton. We have a show on a really, really grand scale tonight. They have played at the Waldorf, the Rainbow Room, the Midsummer Lincoln Center Dance Festival, which I have been able to dance to as well. I am just absolutely thrilled and delighted to have an outstanding musical entrepreneurial group here this evening. I want to just absolutely introduce to you, and it is my great pleasure to introduce to you, the Gerard Carelli Orchestra. Hit it.
I was just another who laughed at romance. I said it was not for me. Then you made your entrance, and right at a glance I knew this was meant to be. Never thought I'd fall, but now I hear love call. I'm getting sentimental over you. Things you say and do just thrill me through and through. I'm getting sentimental over you. I thought I'd be happy. I could live without love. Now I must admit, love is all I'm thinking of. Won't you please be kind and just make up your mind that you'll be sweet and gentle. Be gentle with me, because I'm sentimental over you.
on over, Gerard. Come, please. Oh, gee, what a thrill. What a delight.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, my gosh. It just throws me back to the time that I spent at the Waldorf, the Rainbow Room, and certainly the Midsummer's
Midsummer Night's Swing.
Yes. Oh, those are great. Are you still doing those?
We have done twice. We've been there twice, and we hope to be there again.
That's
great. It is a great scene and a great energy from all the dancers. It's a fun gig.
Yeah, I just cannot. I'm sitting here. I cannot believe the sound that's coming from this orchestra.
Well, thank you.
It is just incredible. I mean, I could just sit here and. But at any rate, let's talk to you some and find out what's going on. And also, too, please introduce the members of this wonderful orchestra.
Well, I have some great musicians here. It is my good fortune. We have Barbara CIFELLI on the baritone sax.
Oh.
Anton Denner on the alto.
Wonderful.
Chris BYARS on the tenor. That's Jason COLBY on the trumpet and flugelhorn. And that's our horn section. The rhythm section, we have RUDY PETSCHAUER on the drums. He's been here before.
Welcome back, Rudy.
Right? James CHIRILLO on the guitar. SCHMITT on the bass. And Richard IACONA at the piano.
Oh, you do some beautiful arrangements.
He does.
He arranged the piece that you just played?
Yes, he has arranged 90% or 95% of all the music in my book, and we've got a nice book, an array of music.
Yeah,
it's terrific.
I know you do. How did you get started?
How did I get started? Well,
we don't have all that much time.
Exactly.
But
where do I begin? I've just always loved standards, great music. I grew up in a household with parents that were not musicians, but music on all over the house all the time. And my father in his travels actually picked up a trombone for $10.
Oh my gosh.
And when it came time to pick an instrument, he said, "You're going to play the trombone." I mean, that wasn't my first choice, but he's a practical Italian father. So, so I gravitated to the trombone, got very serious about it, studied with great teachers, went to school for music in Texas. And,
right, you have a bachelor's and a master's in music?
I have a bachelor's in education.
Education.
Yeah. I never went into the school system. Now I'm back in the school system doing a little teaching.
Well, you sound like you studied with Tommy Dorsey.
Well, yes, I studied with some great musicians at North Texas and all over. But I was on the road with Ray Charles for a year. And,
were you a sideman in his orchestra or his band?
Yes.
That must have been.
Yeah, I did a tour with Ray. Great experience all over the world. You know, many parts of Europe, about 40 different states. So, but then I finally came to New York, and you know, like I say, I've always been a band leader. When I was a kid, I was a band leader. I had a band in high school, and it just was a natural thing for me to want to be a leader and sort of control the environment, the musical environment.
And it shows. It comes together beautifully.
Well, thank you.
Just absolutely beautifully. And I first heard you, I believe, it was at, it might have been the Rainbow Room, for the Gold and Silver Ball event that was there, and just, it was hard to sit down. I never sat down, danced every piece.
That's well, that's a successful gig when everybody's dancing.
Now, you were the entertainment director at the Waldorf? At
the Waldorf for several years, yeah. I'd, you know, got to know the guys in the business, so what we call the club date business, you know.
Now, did you work also with Peter Duchin, or you fronted his band, or?
Yes, he asked me to actually sell for him at the Waldorf, so I was the entertainment director under his name, and any of the jobs that I did book, I led.
Well, I know that you're a family man, and you love golf, and you love to cook.
I do.
And you have a taste for fine wines, and I have a taste for fine music. I'd like to hear some more.
Oh, well,
I'm sure our viewers would as well. So now I know that you have some dancers here, ballroom dancers here as well.
Yes.
So what will your lovely dance couples dance to for the first?
We're going to do a Ellington original, a standard in the repertoire. It's called Beginning to See the Light. And we're going to bring out the dancers one by one, and you're going to hear a delightful young lady who I did not introduce yet. She's my secret, you know. But you're going to meet MADELINE KOLE. Wonderful vocalist, and she's going to be featured on this next song.
Excellent.
Shall we?
Excellent. Please, let's. Madeline, come, join us.
Never saw rainbows in my wine, but now that your lips are burning mine, I'm beginning to see the light.
fantastic. Please, we want to know who our dancers are. We have, let's see, Margaret. And how do you, BATIOCHOK?
BATIOCHOK?
Yeah, And your partner is Charlie Meade. Yes. Charlie, come. And Bernard, okay, Val, thank you. And Bernard Dove and Etta Dixon, please, come. Oh, you're terrific. Nice Val, thank you. And then we have Arturo PEREZ and Constance Boardman. You're great. The outfit is fantastic. Oh, this is wonderful. So at this point, I'd like to know what it is that you have for future plans. You can stay there if you want to, unless you just want to sit down.
That might be a good idea.
Yeah, what's going on? What are your plans? I mean, how often? What is the big band scene like? I mean, I had Dave Berger on the show.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, and small groups. But what's the big band scene like now? I mean, how many venues do you have here in New York? Is it mostly private society type parties for fundraisers and things like that?
We're doing a lot of private parties. We are. Occasionally, we'll get residents somewhere, you know, and we'll play.
You were what, Michael's Pub?
I was at Michael's Pub years ago doing a Bobby Darin tribute.
And you were there a long time.
We were there, yeah, about 6 weeks. It was a lot of fun.
That's a long time for musicians.
Yeah, that's a long time. That's a long gig, you know.
It's a civil service gig.
Right, exactly. Almost. No, I mean, you surround yourself with great musicians, and you've met them.
Which you have done.
And I've done it for years, thankfully. And I've gotten to know, you know, great jazz musicians, but also great, you know, rock musicians. So people call me, and you know, I put together, you know, there are other bands that actually I book that do different styles of music. You know, Italian music, French music.
Right, you do Latin music as well. And
I spent a lot of time doing Latin music. When I first came to New York, I worked with Hector Lavoe and a little bit with Ray Barretto. And
I've had Baba Sanabria here
terrific,
with Eugene Barlow and his band. And yeah, we've been very, very lucky to have some incredible, just incredible musical entrepreneurs. I just feel, you know, to have the opportunity to give everyone a chance to be heard and to do their thing.
Well, thank you, thank you, thank you.
You know, it's just a thrill. It really is a thrill.
Well, you're doing a great service for musicians and artists.
Oh, it is my pleasure.
And you're in a place where there's no shortage of great musicians. So.
Yes. Yeah. And you'd think, you know, but each group is just superior.
Yeah. Well.
So it's just really, really wonderful. And, you know, it's just, how do you market yourselves at this point?
Well, it's, you know, it's been an ongoing effort. Right now, we're doing social media. We're on Twitter. I tweet every day.
You do tweet,
yes.
Whatever.
I brush my teeth and I tweet. You know, those things I do every day. At Gerard Carelli is my Twitter handle. I have a blog, a Tumblr blog. If you go on Tumblr and you,
that's labor intensive, isn't it? You have to do something.
Well, it's fun.
Like
you know,
every
I've gotten to really enjoy it actually. What we do is we take pictures on jobs that we're playing, and that inspires me to, you know, recount what we did that night, who was with me, you know, where we played, how we played, you know, for whom, and so that's been a lot of fun actually. I've enjoyed it. At first, it was a drag. I didn't want to do it, but I have an assistant who has pushed me to do social media. We're on Facebook, you know, et cetera, et cetera. We keep in touch.
And you're LinkedIn as well.
LinkedIn, we're there, and so.
Did you buy some of their stock?
No, unfortunately, I didn't. That would have been the smart move, but no, I didn't. The next thing's coming. So when you hear it, you call me or I'll call you.
Okay. Absolutely,
it's changing.
I will do that.
It's changing,
Absolutely.
isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just such a thrill to have you all here, and believe it or not, we're kind of like running a little bit out of time, and I want to have you play another piece. So I just really want to thank you so much to everyone for coming and putting on such an incredible performance and show.
Thank you. I want to thank them too. It's a pretty great group of people.
I know
the dancers.
It's a big production, but I'd love to have you back. But at any rate, I want to thank Rudy Petschauer for making this introduction, and also Maria
right.
Giorgio, who's here, who made the introduction to you, and it's just everything just sort of like networks. It's wonderful. That's the way this show works.
Yeah.
Everything is a networking and a referral, so everybody's welcome back.
Well, thank you, June.
And I want to give a very, very special thanks to Rich here at Manhattan Neighborhood Network. He did a hell of a job putting together this show for us and helping us with it.
He's
with
terrific,
the sound. Yeah.
He really is. You're lucky.
It is just great. So you've been watching Minding Your Business. Believe it or not, it is a business. You put together a band, an orchestra, a musical group, you're running a business. So it's a show for outstanding entrepreneurs, and I'm your host, June Middleton. Thank you for watching, and please join us again. And in the time that we have left to close the show, I am again thrilled and delighted to present to you the Gerard Carelli Orchestra.
Let me tell you about a girl I know. She's my baby and she lives next door. Every morning before the sun comes up, she brings me coffee in my favorite cup. That's why I know, yes I know, hallelujah, I just love her so. When I'm in trouble and I got no friends, I know she go with me until the end. Everybody asks me how I know. I smile at them and say, I told me so. She tell no, yes I know, hallelujah, I just love her so. And when I call her on the telephone, and tell her that I'm all alone, by the time I count from 1 to 4, I hear her at my door. In the evening when the sun goes down, when there's nobody else around, she kisses me and she holds me tight. She tells me, Gerard, everything's all right. That's why I know, yes I know, hallelujah, I just love her so. When I call her on the telephone and tell her that I'm all alone, by the time I count from 1 to 4, I hear her at my door. In the evening when the sun goes down, when there's nobody else around, she kisses me and she holds me tight. She tells me, Daddy, everything's all right. That's why I know, yes I know.